When you wake up in the morning, do you have trouble making a fist with your hands? When you get out of bed and take your first few steps, does it feel like your knees have rusted? Maybe this stiffness goes away within half an hour and you forget about it during the day, but the next morning, the same thing starts again. If this sounds familiar to you, I'd recommend watching this video to the end, because today I'm not just going to tell you the causes. I'm also going to show you a simple routine, one that takes only a few minutes before you get out of bed, that can genuinely reduce this morning stiffness. Feeling a bit of stiffness in the morning, especially after a long sleep, is normal. But if this stiffness happens again every morning, and it's gradually lasting longer, your body may be quietly trying to tell you something. And if you're over 60, this is not a signal you should ignore. Today we'll look at the following together: the real causes behind morning joint stiffness, which symptoms mean you should talk to your doctor, and a simple routine you can apply before getting out of bed. If you're ready, let's begin. Let's start with a small but important piece of information. Inside your joints, there's a slippery fluid that lets your bones move against each other without friction. This is called synovial fluid. While you sleep, because you stay still, this fluid circulates less and thickens a bit. Also, the cartilage in your joints can lose a bit of fluid due to inactivity overnight. That's why your first movements in the morning feel more dry and more difficult compared to the evening. As you move, this fluid re-enters circulation and the stiffness usually resolves. You can compare it to oiling a hinge. A hinge that hasn't been used in a while feels stiff the first time you open it, but after opening and closing it a few times, the oil spreads again and the movement becomes easier. Your joints work in a somewhat similar way. Now let's look at this and the other causes together, one by one. First reason: cartilage wear that develops with age. This is one of the most common causes, especially after the age of 60, and it's part of your body's natural aging process. Cartilage, used over the years, can gradually thin like a thin carpet. This means your joints no longer cushion movement as smoothly as before, especially after staying inactive overnight. This doesn't appear all at once. It progresses unnoticed over the years, and most people only become aware of it once they start experiencing regular morning stiffness. Second reason: low-grade inflammation. Your body can develop a low-level inflammatory response to the small wear and tear that builds up in your joints over time. This inflammation can become a bit more noticeable during nighttime rest, because inactivity allows inflammatory fluid to accumulate around the joint. This doesn't always mean a serious disease. It can be your body's natural response to small wear that is built up over the years. Third reason: muscle weakness. The muscles surrounding your joints are a natural support system that shares the joint's load. If muscle mass decreases with age, your joints have to carry more of the load on their own, and this can make your morning movements feel more difficult. The good news is, this cause is one of the most changeable of them all. Strengthening your muscles can directly reduce the load on your joints. Fourth reason: weather and humidity. Many people notice that joint stiffness becomes more noticeable when the weather turns cold or humidity rises. The exact reason for this isn't fully understood, but it's thought that changes in barometric pressure may affect the joint fluid and the tissues around it. These four causes can also feed into one another. In a joint with cartilage wear, if muscle weakness is also present, morning stiffness can become even more noticeable. So, when should you actually be concerned? If your morning stiffness lasts longer than 30 minutes, if there's noticeable swelling, redness, or warmth in the joint, or if this is happening symmetrically on both sides of your body, not just in one joint. These symptoms can be a sign of a different process than simple wear and tear, and you should talk to your doctor. A simple exam and a few tests, if needed, can clarify the situation. Beyond that, occasional stiffness that resolves within 30 minutes is usually explained by the causes we discussed in this video and is not an emergency. Now let me show you that simple routine. When you open your eyes, don't get out of bed right away. While still lying in bed, slowly make a fist with your hands and open them again, repeating this 10 times. Then rotate your ankles in circles, 5 times in each direction. Finally, slowly pull your knees toward your chest, hold for a few seconds, and release. 3 times for each leg. Why does it work? These movements get your joint fluid circulating again while you're still in bed and your muscles are relaxed. So by the time you stand up, your joints are already a bit warmed up, and you skip past those first difficult steps. You can do this without leaving the bed, even before you fully open your eyes. It doesn't require any special equipment or extra time. Repeating this every morning can genuinely shorten the duration of your morning stiffness over time. And remember, this small habit makes a difference not overnight, but over a few weeks. This stiffness you feel in the morning is not a random occurrence. Don't just brush it off by saying, "That's just old age." This is a signal your body is sending you. And the good news is, it's far more manageable than you think. This stiffness you feel in the morning is not a random occurrence. Don't just brush it off by saying, "That's just old age." This is a signal your body is sending you, and the good news is, it's far more manageable than you think.